Unintentional bulk. There are several different approaches to bulking, ranging from highly ineffective to extremely effective. At the least effective end is what's sometimes called unintentional bulking. This is when someone just eats more food casually without tracking calories, protein, or progress. They may gain some weight, but most of it will be body fat rather than muscle. The lack of structure means the body has no consistent nutrient intake to maximize muscle protein synthesis, and the fat gain is often excessive. This is why random overeating is considered the most useless way to bulk. Dirty bulk. Another common but flawed approach is the dirty bulk. Here, the focus is on eating as many calories as possible from any source: fast food, sweets, fried items, and processed snacks. The idea is that since the body needs calories, any surplus will help. While this method can build muscle, research shows that rapid weight gain mostly translates to fat gain rather than lean tissue. Because dietary fat is stored as body fat more efficiently than carbohydrates, a dirty bulk with high-fat fast food drives fat storage far more than muscle growth. It also causes digestive issues, systemic inflammation, and insulin resistance, which over time can make muscle gain harder. This method works fast but produces poor body composition results, so it belongs near the useless side of the spectrum. Main gain/recomp. A step up is the main gain or recomp strategy, where someone stays at the same weight while trying to slowly exchange fat for muscle. This is achievable in specific cases: beginners who are new to lifting, people returning after a long break, or individuals carrying higher body fat. Their bodies respond strongly to resistance training even without a surplus. However, for experienced lifters, progress eventually stalls because the body adapts. The energy needed to maximize growth simply isn't there. That's why main gaining alone is not enough for long-term muscle development, even though it is useful in the short term. Controlled lean bulk. The first method that begins to show serious effectiveness is the controlled lean bulk. This approach involves deliberately eating about 5 to 10% above maintenance calories, prioritizing high protein intake, around 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, and balancing fats and carbohydrates. This slow and steady surplus allows the body to add muscle at the maximum rate it can actually build without overwhelming it with excess calories that spill over into fat storage. Studies show that gaining roughly 0.5 to 1 pound per week for men, or 0.25 to 0.5 pounds for women, is the sweet spot for muscle gain with minimal fat. Tracking calories and body weight ensures progress is measurable and adjustments can be made if fat gain outpaces muscle gain. Periodized bulk. Another level of refinement is the periodized bulk. Instead of staying in a surplus year-round, this method uses cycles of bulking and cutting. Typically, a lifter will bulk for 12 to 16 weeks, gain 6 to 12 pounds, and then enter a short fat loss phase lasting 4 to 8 weeks. This zigzag approach prevents body fat from climbing too high while still allowing consistent long-term muscle gain. Research supports this strategy. When fat levels rise too high, insulin sensitivity drops, which reduces the body's ability to use carbohydrates effectively for muscle growth. By cutting back down, you restore sensitivity and set the stage for the next productive bulk. This is why periodized bulking is favored by advanced lifters and bodybuilders aiming for the best long-term body composition. Specialized bulk. Even more advanced is the specialized bulk. This is when training and nutrition are customized towards specific weak points in physique or performance. For example, if someone needs to bring up lagging shoulders, they might increase shoulder training volume by 20 to 40% during the bulk and align nutrition around those sessions with extra carbohydrates and protein to fuel growth. Supplement choices can also be targeted here, such as using creatine monohydrate to enhance strength in compound lifts or fish oil to reduce joint inflammation during high-volume training. This method is less about gaining as much overall size as possible and more about shaping the body with precision, which is why it's considered highly effective for experienced athletes. Appetite management bulk. One of the most overlooked but expert-level strategies is appetite management bulking. Many lifters struggle to eat enough once calories climb, which stalls progress. Simple techniques can make or break a bulk, increasing food palatability with spices and sauces, raising dietary fat slightly to pack more calories per bite, or blending meals into shakes to reduce digestive load. Another effective tactic is using intrameal walks, about 10 minutes after eating, to improve digestion and help the stomach reset for the next feeding. Digestive enzymes, betaine HCl for stomach acid support, and glucose disposal agents can further enhance nutrient absorption, ensuring that the food eaten actually supports muscle growth instead of sitting heavily in the gut. These small refinements are what transform a struggling bulk into a smooth and sustainable one. Long-term lean bulk. Another important bulking method is the long-term lean bulk. Instead of short cycles, this strategy stretches a bulk over 6 months to a year with very gradual increases in calories. The goal is to hold muscle gains longer so they become more permanent. Muscle built in a short bulk can be lost quickly if a hard cut follows immediately, but muscle maintained for many months becomes more resistant to loss because of structural changes inside the muscle fibers. This is why longer bulks are often recommended once a lifter has moved past the beginner stage. The key is patience, adding only 0.5% of body weight per month, adjusting calories upward slowly, and using regular check-ins with photos and body weight averages to ensure fat gain stays controlled. Performance-driven bulk. Closely related is the performance-driven bulk. Instead of focusing on scale weight alone, this method uses strength progression as the primary marker. Calories are added only when lifts stall. For example, if bench press and squat numbers are rising consistently, the surplus is working. If strength flattens, an extra 150 to 250 calories per day may be introduced. This method ensures calories directly support training performance rather than creating unnecessary fat gain. It also teaches the lifter to listen to training feedback instead of chasing arbitrary weight targets, which is especially valuable for athletes who need to stay in a specific weight class. Hybrid health-conscious bulk. Finally, there is the hybrid health-conscious bulk. This approach balances bodybuilding goals with long-term health markers. Instead of pushing calories recklessly, food quality is prioritized with whole, nutrient-dense sources, lean meats, eggs, legumes, rice, potatoes, fruits, and vegetables, while allowing occasional calorie-dense additions like nut butters, oils, and shakes to maintain energy intake. Cardiovascular conditioning is also built into the plan. Moderate intensity cardio 2 to 3 times per week improves heart health, maintains insulin sensitivity, and actually helps increase appetite, making it easier to sustain a surplus. Blood work, sleep quality, and stress management are also monitored because low testosterone, poor recovery, or chronic high cortisol can all limit muscle growth, no matter how many calories are consumed.